Hello, good evening.
Hello,
Um,
magandang gabi sa lahat ng ating mga viewers. Welcome to another talkback session of the Mindanao Film Festival, the 18th Mindanao Film Festival, now going online for this year. And for this talkback session, we're actually going to have the filmmakers naman from the films which are non-Mindanao films, no, or filmmakers who come from other regions, not in Mindanao, and they are part of the exhibition films that we have, right, Dol?
yes, nandito na. And we have, I think tatlo sila dito. They're sa backstage. We have Ivan Cortez of Kahon, Glen Sarol of Nagapwam, Diin Gikan, and Mina Cruz of our redirected hopes. Hello, good
Hello po.
evening. Hello
Good
po.
evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Sige, maybe like siguro kumustahin natin muna si Rudolph, no? Like how are you doing? What keeps you busy during these times? So yeah, start tayo kay Ivan, then kay Glen, and
Hello.
then kay Mina.
Ako currently dito lang naman sa bahay, nood-nood lang ng films. Ayan.
Yes. Si Jan Glen.
Hello po. Sa ngayon, so far, nagtatapos lang po ng mga requirements para sa school. And yeah, I think that's about it. Trying to meet the deadline po before the Christmas break.
Okay. And we have Mina Cruz.
Yeah, ako since I'm doing freelance works as an actor. So since nag-lockdown, hindi pa talaga ako nakakalabas para magtrabaho. But meron akong team with Arvin Bellarmino and Carlo Valenzuela, and we're trying to develop a full-length script. So yun yung pinagkakabalahan muna habang hindi pa nagtatrabaho.
So yun. Si Glen and si Mina actually friends ko sa Facebook, so it's really nice to finally talk
Yes,
with
po.
them here sa talkback session.
Wala akong friends sa
So,
Facebook.
I-add mo na sila.
Add
So
mo
yun,
siya.
maybe you wanna ask the first question, Dolph, about
Yes, describe your films. Tell us about your films kasi may mga for the benefit of the viewers kasi hindi nila siguro napanood yung mga intro sa film. Tell us about yung inyong films. Kasi Jay, Mina is from Bulacan and Ivan is from Manila or
Mandaluyong.
Mandaluyong. Nagapwam is parang UPLB, di ba? Parang
Dito po kami naka-base po, sir. Pero yung mga filmmakers po ay from Benguet tsaka Leyte po.
so cross-cultural.
Apo.
So, yeah, tell us about your film. Start with Ivan.
Yung Kahon is my thesis film sa film school na pinasukan ko. Mainly about siya sa priest na nabigyan ng choice whether save yung career niya or sundan yung principles niya about that. Pero mostly about repression siya and yung themes na speaking up during times of injustices and yung themes na pinlay around namin sa film.
Si Jan?
Okay po. Yung film naman po namin is a collaboration film. This was a film made by someone from Benguet and another one from Leyte. So the two dialects there, Ilocano tsaka Bisaya.
Wow.
And then the film tackles on, once again, as I mentioned dun sa intro, just tackles on our insecurities in life and also talks about the concept of adulthood when you reach the age mo, especially kasi kaming dalawang filmmakers. We're nearing our 30s now. we're at our late 20s, so it's just that concept that we tried to play around with. So yun po, that's the kind of like the main theme of the film.
Paano lang pala tayo edad? We're nearing our late 30s. Mina?
Sure, doll.
Yeah,
We're nearing our
so our redirected hopes po is a story of two former lovers who had a final chance to meet, and during their meeting they had conversations about, they reminisced about their times together. They talked about um why they broke up, but most specifically the conversation starter was the woman told the man that she had a dream about him, that he turned into a zombie who's trying to shoot himself, pero not even a headshot would kill him. That's it.
Mhm. Sige,
So, Jay?
I'm interested doon sa, of course, the process of developing your stories, your script, no? Kasi I think each film is very distinct on its own. Siguro I'll start with Ivan because it talks about, in a way, a sensitive topic, no? And a lot of films that tackles priesthood usually treads on sensitive material, sensitive themes. No, how did you deal with this kind of sensitivities, and ano yung parang inspiration in trying to actually settle with that story?
Mm. Kasi ako lumaki ako sa Catholic school sa na background. Well, first of all, ayaw namin sana i-exploit. Yun yung pinaka-iniwasan namin, ma-exploit yung mga ganong instances. So, hinanapan din namin siya ng angle na kasama yung victim. Sa angle ng victim mostly din. Mostly yun yung namin sa film.
With John Glen, because ano siya, 'di ba, parang cross cultural exchange, but at the same time the characters never really meet, 'di ba? And each has its own, kumbaga pa, preoccupations, anxieties, or yung sinabi mo kanina, insecurities. Ano yung, because you also made this film with another filmmaker, ano yung parang process na ginawa nyo, because dalawa kayo, 'di ba, sa process. So paano kayo nag-get together and try to actually make this film?
Mute. Nakamute.
Ay, nakamute. Sorry.
Okay, so I've known Steph since 2014. And it's actually one of those things kasi at first when yung Bisaya tsaka Ilocano, this is something that I realized nung mga times na yun, kasi I've been around with a lot of Bisaya friends from Visayas and Mindanao. And yung may nakita akong mga similar words dun sa Ilocano tsaka Bisaya. And so we played around that concept, and then there were even times na we will have conversations with Steph on na nag-Ilocano ako, tapos nagbibisaya siya, tapos medyo naiintindihan namin yung isa't isa. And doon actually na-build yung concept. And we started thinking about what if we make a film, because the film was actually inspired by yung film ni Orson Welles, yung F for Fake. Mm-hmm. There were instances doon sa film na yun na there were two people talking to each other, but tsaka yung filmmaker knows that they're not actually in the same time and space. And so I said, what if we try to replicate that, but make it in a way wherein yung isa Ilocano, yung isa Bisaya, and they're talking to each other, and we don't explain why this is going on, but it should make sense in a way. So we tried to play around yung concept po na yun, and we just started writing the script first sa English muna, and then afterwards translate na lang namin siya into yung sa part ko, since yung mga artists actually dito sa film namin ay yung mga younger siblings namin. So, pinersa namin sila na sila yung mag-play. So, yung kapatid ko, yung babae, yung nag-Ilocano, si Chini, she's my sister. So, I translated yung script, yung part niya into Ilocano, and then Steph, her younger brother naman, si Hans, siya yung nagbibisaya. So, she translated the script, yung English script into Bisaya. So, that's the whole collaborative process behind it.
But yung sister mo and then brother ni Steph, they didn't parang interact with each other, like, through lines or something like that. Ano naman yung process sa pag-direct sa kanila sa actors?
Yun yung actually isa sa pinakamahirap. When we were filming yung mga scenes, there were times wherein I was thinking, paano ko kaya to? I really didn't know if it would work. I really, because like you only get a glimpse dun sa final product ko eh, but you don't really, kasi pag sinushoot nyo pa lang siya, parang sa isip mo, okay, I think siguro magme-make sense naman siguro to in the end. But I think we just tried to go for it. Just tried to treat it as if magkaharap talaga sila. Which was very hard. But once again, during the scenes nung sinushoot namin sila, meron si Steph yung parang nagiging, kumbaga, parang kausap nung actor, just so para hindi siya kumbaga mas madali ng onte na mag-act kasi mas madaling parang at least may kausap pa rin siyang tao.
Were they first time actors dyan, yung sister mo and yung brother?
My sister actually was part of my second film din po, but minor lang po yung role niya doon. In this one, medyo may pagka-major po yung role niya. But once again, every time I always tell them na just try to not act. Just try to be natural as much as possible po. Kasi yun po yung mahirap po because we never, masalo na po sa film namin, it's just a DIY film. Parang kami-kami lang po yung gumagawa. We never really have any budget to try to hire someone, like a legitimate actor or actress. So that's why I keep on telling, almost sa lahat po ng film namin actually, we never really have like yung mga actors po talaga to really play the roles. So yun po. Usually mga first time actors lang po talaga yung mga. Yes po.
So, before I go to Mina, balikan ko lang din si Ivan because we got into the discussion of actors and directing actors, and yun nga, diba, sa like for regional filmmakers, we don't really have that access. First of all, of course, wala tayong budget and wala tayong budget masyado, and then we don't have access to mainstream actors. Really
like Dito ang galing ni Dito de la Paz doon, and I was very envious na, uy, wala tayong ganito, parang Dito de la Paz na makuha na.
So, yeah, actually, yun. So, ang question ko is, how is it like working with the likes of Dito and Anthony Falcon? Ano yung process? Of course, since sila parang sanay na actors, they're acting in film, they're acting for the big screen, they're acting for TV. So, yeah, I'm just curious to know how it is directing them. Like, how do they interact with film students, for example, approaching them for their thesis films? Parang,
well, first, nung una, very intimidating actually. Nung mga first few hours ng shooting namin. Pero after a while, very collaborative kasi yung dalawa and very fun sila ka-work. Parang in the end, medyo nawala na din yung kaba and parang more on collaborators na rin yung tingin namin sa isa't isa. Hinahanap namin yung ng characters kasi very madali sila ka-work actually. Kasi madami din silang ina-add to the table na pwede pa idagdag. Yung mga hindi ko din na-realize na pwedeng ugali ng mga characters, biglang may nabibigay silang ganun. So yun, sa start intimidating, pero in the end, positive yung experience working with these two actors.
Does kasi professional sa the budget, yung paano yung budget niyan? Kasi they're professional actors. Yung TF, no?
Yeah.
Your
yeah, well, naintindihan din naman nila, I think, na student film siya for my thesis kasi itong film na to. So, yun, naging generous naman sila enough to help me din kahit hindi as big yung binabayad sa kanila syempre sa mga shoots mismo, studio films, mga TV. Very generous naman sila pagdating doon.
Kasi Jade, remember yung 2014, our best film Mindanao Film was thesis film, Walay Kahumanang Adlaw by Marky Doromal. He got professional actors sila Dion Monsanto and from Cebu.
From Cebu. I guess consideration na din talaga. I mean, if it's a thesis film, then you have to, in a way, invest din, no? Because it's like your gateway to your career. So I think yun din yung parang consideration for film students, like especially in Manila, since they already have parang access din to these actors. So yun. Kay Mina naman, I'm very interesting yung film mo for me because of the genres, no? It's so separate, diba? Romantic, and then zombie films. So parang saan, ano yung parang naging idea, bakit ganun, yung klaseng extremes na genre that you're able to put into one film?
Actually, I posted this on Facebook. I told a story na nung bata ako, I used to collect mga lupa, dust, and then tutubigan ko, imomold ko, ilalagay ko sa ibabaw ng dahon ng kumamela. Tapos I would pretend the cake yon. Yung film is actually like that. It's actually more of my own sadness and regrets that I tried to turn into something. Nung sinulat ko yon, it was after isang pagharap sa isang depression. I had a really bad breakup. So, and to be honest, parang sigurong 80% ng pelikula ay totoo. Well, ang mga differences lang is yeah, it's like a hugot film. Ang differences lang is may mga conversations that happened over the phone, or pero yung nakaupo sa gutter, yung blocking yon, it's very much the same. Even yung panaginip, yung dream sequence, it's real. So that's why nung sinushoot din namin, very particular ako na ito yung gusto kong camera angle, ito yung gusto kong blocking, ganito yung gusto kong kulay. Kasi parang ano siya, yung itch na gusto mong ipakita sa audience na ganito ko na panaginipan itong sitwasyon na to. So that's why, ganun no. Yun, I guess kaya rin medyo magulo yung genre because of the dream sequence.
Yeah, but I think it worked for me. It's an ambitious attempt, but I think kasi parang wala akong kitang ganun pa, like for a short film to really go in the territory of combining these two extremes. So parang for me it paid off in the way na parang yun, suspension of disbelief din siya kasi you're expecting something else and then it turns out to be this different thing, no? And then you were also working with actors din, diba, na of course how did they naman parang approach or how did they react to the concept of the film? Paano naman yung parang process with them, with the actors? Did they know ba that you're going to make the first part as what it is, like the zombie part?
Yes. Yung main actor namin, si Victor Medina, he's also
Mm.
my friend. Tapos nakatrabaho ko na
Ah,
rin siya before. Uh, Actually, nung in-approach ko siya para dun sa script, very excited siya kasi never pa daw siyang nakapag-prosthetics, never pa daw siya nakapag-zombie. So, very exciting din para sa kanya yung project. Tapos, yung directing process, very collaborative kasi din yung approach. Siguro dahil bilang aktor, alam ko din na parang that's the kind of method that works for me eh. So, talagang pinag-usapan muna namin yung script over the phone. Tapos, siguro one more thing na swerte ko rin dito is, nung time bago na isinut namin yung Our Redirected Hopes, si Victor, I think meron siyang play. May theater project siya. So, kumbaga, praktisado siya sa mga long takes, sa mga long
mm.
sequences.
Ah,
Tapos very, very nakatulong din talaga yon. Yun.
Dolph, you wanna ask more questions?
okay, Mina, nakatulong ba yan? Kasi you said na you came after breakup. Nakatulong ba yung films the process of moving on, moving forward?
Grabe, naka-personal naman yan.
Actually po, nung sinulat ko muna siya bilang short story. So parang yun yung closure ko para sa sarili ko. The film was shot siguro mga 2 or 3 years after that. So, by the time na sinut ko yung film, sobrang maayos na po ako. Naka-move on na talaga.
But etong mga films you were made before before the lockdown nung March, tama ba? Or
Sorry?
Opo. Nice.
your films were made before the lockdown, or were they made during?
Yung Our Redirected Hopes po, it was actually, yung production namin was actually 2 years ago. Tapos sobrang tumagal lang yung release because, syempre yung mga kaibigan ko who working sa post-prod, yung mga editors, yung mga nag-sound design, they have their day jobs. So, kumbaga busy rin, kaya kung kailan lang maisingit yung schedule. So, finally, nung nag-lockdown, lahat kami, dahil nasa bahay lang, sobrang libre yung oras, maraming oras para gumawa ng personal stuff. Kaya, nito pa lang po namin na-release.
Sa'yo, Glenn, ano ba ito siya? Was this made before the lockdown or like during the lockdown?
Yes po sir. Ito rin po ay 2 years ago rin actually po.
Okay.
Nasimulan po namin. So, na-shoot po namin siya 2018. But, yun po, because of work din po, tsaka ACADS, parang na-push po talaga yung finalization po niya ng 2020 na po. So, umabot na po siya ng pandemic, kumbaga, situation. So, yun po. So, this year lang po talaga namin siya na-polish. And, yes, na po.
And I assume kay Ivan before pa, no? Kasi this is
Yeah, actually mga Feb namin siya shoot, mga 1 month before lockdown.
Okay.
So umabot naman siya. Yeah.
Yun. Actually, tinanong ko siya because I was interested if the films were made during the lockdown, like some of these experiences of isolation, anxiety were kind of like integrated doon sa process of filmmaking, but it turns out nga na these were made before the lockdown. So yeah, ikaw, do you wanna ask Dolph?
Okay, to the three, kasi yung mga kwento natin kanina, no, yung mga projects you had, your professionals also in your fields, no. Kung walang pandemic, ano yung dapat na pursue ninyo na mga projects, or you want, or after itong pandemic, what project do you want to pursue after? Kaya tayo kay Ivan.
Yeah. Well, ako naman, during this pandemic, nagka-projects. Kasi nag-freelance din ako sa director. So, may mga, and assistant director. So, may mga na-work on na din ako mga short films during this pandemic. Tsaka mga corporate videos. Although next year din, actually may sinusulat akong script ngayon and baka next year itatry ko din siya iikot sa mga grants. So far yun pa lang naman yung plan ko after pandemic. Or kung umabot yung pandemic, iikot ko rin siya sa grants. So yan.
Si John.
Okay. Yung sa akin naman po, I'm working on a script actually that still about to work on a script. And that's like an homage sa amin, sa La Trinidad tsaka sa Baguio po. So I really feel like I really want to make something like a film essay of some sort of dun sa amin, because I just feel like wala masyadong there's just not a lot of those types of artworks, mga types of films na represent yun nga po, that part most especially kasi it's kind of like an urban part of the Benguet, because most of the majority of nung sa Benguet po ay mga rural areas. So it's like a melting pot of different cultures, like intertwined different life paths, kumbaga, that I want to explore on. So I feel like a film essay would give it justice. But we will see. We will see po kung when will that happen, since I don't think this pandemic or itong situation pa natin will be ending anytime soon. Hopefully, I'm still hopeful na babalik po ulit sa normal.
John, follow, kamusta yung film scene dyan, yung mga regional filmmakers dyan sa Bengal? May ano ba dyan? Kasi I remember yung Panabatas wife, was it doon ba?
Yes po. Opo, doon po shoot, pero I think the filmmaker was not
there?
Opo, hindi po ata siya. Opo. Let's also yung Tokwifi din po pala. Sa Bontoc naman po siya based. There are filmmakers po. I've met others as well na hindi masyadong kilala. They're also like DIY, yung mga do-it-yourself filmmakers po. But so far, it's not as prevalent as from other regions, I would say. That's just my personal observation. I don't think hindi pa talaga siya as honed as other regions, and that's the reason why kami din po we keep on attending or trying to go for this mga film festivals po na to give inspiration po doon sa mga filmmakers po sa amin to try it out as well, because it's always good to have that mga art form ba, mga ganito, to express different types of maybe issues or any sorts of emotion that you want to bring out there. So yun.
Okay, Mina?
As mentioned earlier nga po, I'm co-writing a script with two other directors. It's horror yung genre. But at the same time, inaaral ko yung producing side ng filmmaking. So hopefully, kung matatapos yung pandemic, sana may time nang makapag-pitch ng mga projects. For yung namang personal projects, mayroon akong full-length script, pero medyo hindi pa ako decided what to exactly do with it ngayong pandemic. If gagawin ko ba muna siya na short film, or balik ko muna sa ipo-polish yung yung buong screenplay.
Yeah, I'm also kasi ngayon we have parang naging household name yung online festival, no. I think it's obvious naman because we're in this situation, and parang yung consumption natin ng films have shifted virtually, and parang nag-adjust din in a way yung mga film festivals, and most of them, or if not all of them, or yeah, like a good number of them really shift online. How do you see this kind of shift? Do you think this is beneficial, especially for filmmakers na hindi mainstream, to get their works, to get their films out there? And yeah, if you see this if you see this as something beneficial, or like in the end, what do you see with this kind of parang platform na online? Maybe yun, start again with Ivan, Glen, and then Mina.
Well, sa akin, pros and cons naman yung lipat sa virtual ngayon sa ano. Well, kasi pros muna kasi mas madaming na-reach na, let's say nga sa mga parts, kaya sa Mindanao nga or sa Visayas, na may mga theaters na hindi masyado nag-play ng mga independent films. Ngayon, mga tao din kaya nila i-reach kahit virtual lang without going out of their homes. So, I guess yung pinaka-pro is mas accessible na yung mga films. Pero yung cons naman, I think hindi talaga mapapalitan yung experience sa pagnood sa theater, which is sobrang nakakamiss din.
Yeah.
Ayan.
Sige. Do you have also the same feelings, Glenn, with regards to this shift in online platforms? How do you see
Yes
this?
po. Well, but I think yun nga po, yung convenience po talaga. And we get to promote yung mga films po natin quite with social media. With social media, we can be able to reach out sa mga kaibigan po natin, or even those yung mga kakilala din po nila, like mutual friends. So in this way, mas there will be more people to watch the films. But yeah, I agree with Ivan that hindi pa rin mapapalitan talaga yung feeling of going to the theaters. I mean, I really do believe that films should be watched sa theaters. I think that's where it belongs. But once again, given the situation right now, I would accept na this should still be the platform that we should go to in the meantime. But yes, I would say the theater is really where films belong.
Kay Mina naman, what are your thoughts on this?
I agree with them. Totoo naman na lalo na bilang sa isang baguhang filmmaker, iba talaga yung experience na makita mo yung trabaho mo na nasa malaking screen. May ibang sense of achievement na makikita mo ang ganda-gandang, ang laki-laki. Tapos kapag lalo na if you're screening it sa isang country na iba yung language, talagang you would really appreciate yung effort nila na talagang i-subtitle on their own language. Sobrang napaka-grateful sa pakiramdam nun eh. But for me, sobrang malaki rin talaga yung advantage nitong online. Hindi lang yung sa reach eh. Pero bukod dun is yung attendance. Kasi alam naman natin na para sa mga bagong filmmakers, lalo na if you don't have the funds, if you don't have the travel grant, hindi ka naman makaka-attend doon sa screening ng pelikula mo. Pero dahil dito sa online, we have the opportunity pa rin na mag-Q&A. We have the opportunity na makipag-connect pa rin sa mga viewers para maintindihan nila yung ano ba yung nasa likod ng pinapanood nyo na yan? Paano ba na-develop yan? Ano ba yung kwento nung dun sa thoughts at sa puso ng filmmaker? It's a very good thing.
I think that's very nice na point out na yun, no, yung opportunity for the filmmakers to reach out, because like for example sa experience natin dito sa regional film festivals, aside from having the films screened or projected in a wider or bigger screen, kasi we do also hear community screenings, like for example in Bunturan. We do it in a municipal plaza na open air cinema siya. So I think I guess aside from the fact na nakikita natin yung films, nakikita natin yung films on a wider screen is yung opportunity to discuss with the or like to gather with like-minded people who watch the same film. And although we can do that online, pero iba pa rin kasi yung parang sense of community. And I think yun din yung isa sa mga nami-miss namin as organizers ng regional film festivals. Like Binisaya, for example, no, you've screened your films in there, diba, Ivan and Glen, and dito din sa Mindanao, there's always that parang sense of community gathering around together and talking about the films that they've seen. So, yung level of interaction then, I think, with the audience and with the moviegoers, yun din yung parang nami-miss din namin or like natin. I think it's time that we should open the questions to our audience, Dolph. May mga questions na ba?
Wait. To John Glen, mayroon from Pete Villalino. To John Glen, I really like the contrast between the local languages and the duo dynamic of the characters, the landscape and all, and yet the struggle, dilemma are pretty similar or related. What was your thought process when you decided you're gonna do this concept?
Ayos po. I think one of the things as well is, once again, when we were writing the script, we were at our siguro mga 25 or 26. We were 25 or 26, and I think at this time, at least for me, in sa perspective ko, it was a time wherein I moved from another job, kumbaga, and I tried to pursue something that I wasn't really sure I am competent enough of achieving. Right now, I am taking up my master's degree. I'm trying to take up my master's degree. But there's always this lingering thought of not being intellectually capable enough of actually achieving it. So there's always this, what if mali pala yung decision ko to move to this other institution and try to pursue this career path that I might not be able to be good at. So it turned out to be a concept afterwards, just because I was also looking back when I was 18 or 17, and I was like thinking that 8 years from now I would have known, I would know everything. Na kumbaga itong adulthood ba, the concept of adulthood, trying to figure things out. Just the concept of adults, like, di ba, nung bata po tayo, maybe when we were high school, we were thinking, pag 25 ka na, uy, grabe, napaka-mature ko na siguro. But later on, as I've reached the age of 25, 26, I was like, I still feel like a child inside. I am not sure what ano yung mga pan ko ba? What are my plans in life? I'm still and even until now, salo na ngayon, I'm like nearing my 30s, and I'm still at a point wherein I'm still doubting myself. So it's kind of like a bit with the both of us with Steph. I think it was more of like a conversation as well with our younger self. It was kind of like that type of thing wherein we're in the yung si Hans, yung character in Hans is talking to a younger one. It's almost like us, the older us talking to the younger us. So I don't know. That's actually another thing, because I was worried that, or it wasn't really more of worry, but I just feel like may mga audience that are not going to relate to the story of the film, because I feel like there are definitely people out there that have figured things out. They know what they're doing in life, but somehow there are people like me who are still trying to move around the maze of life. So ayun po. So that's pretty much the whole theme of the film. And thank you, Pete, for asking that very hard question, but well appreciated. Thank you.
Ang profound, Very philosophical.
Okay,
Ako
from Man.
nakaka-relate ako.
So do you have so Mina, yung it's a question we need Pete, no? Okay, Jan, what's your take on that? Yung thought process, yung sa I remember sabi niya 20 yung edad kasi yun din ang when I was yung 25 years old I thought no na ganyan yung na okay na yung ito na ay yung buhay, but then when we grow old pala iba pala yung perspective. Okay, for Maria, question for the directors. How would you guys see the future of filmmaking sa new normal? Start with Ivan.
I think matagal-tagal pa talagang ganito. Yeah, yung pinaka-ano naman din, yung mga protocols na sinusundan. Pero I think nag-benefit din kasi madaming nakitang parang holes din sa parang safety pagdating sa filmmaking. And I think silver lining na lang na ayun nga, na medyo na-improve yung safety protocols sa pagdating sa filmmaking. Pero I hope na after some time mag-back to normal talaga kasi medyo hassle din yung magpapaswab pa every time before and after mag-shoot and all.
May safety officer, di ba?
So,
yeah.
Ayan.
Okay, John.
Yes,
What's the future of filmmaking sa new normal?
I think other than the protocols then when we're trying to shoot, siguro there will be new stories maybe that will come out of this. Because once again, I've mentioned this actually dun sa talkback din a few months ago sa quarantines, where I just feel like something may mangyayari sa utak ng mga tao, most especially sa lockdown, wherein a lot of things will come out, a lot of ideas will come out, and a lot of people will also have these anxious thoughts that they want to express. So sa ngayon, there are surges of different filmmakers from the regions, and I feel like I expect the next few years to have more with their own different types of stories, and this is really what I want to try to once again tell yung mga gustong aspiring filmmakers to just whatever it is, whatever thoughts they have, mas lalo na nga po during this pandemic, to just express themselves through film.
Okay, Mina.
I'll expand lang yung sinagot ni Ivan sa ni John Glen. Yes, actually during the pandemic, it's a good thing nga talaga na may mga lumabas na mga safety protocols. Sa akin lang siguro, I just see it in a way na it's very advantageous, but it's also prone to abuse, given the fact na aminin natin na hirap ng trabaho ngayon, kokonti yung trabaho. And sometimes there are people na napupush na i-waive yung rights nila to as a workspace just in order to earn. So, but given this scenario, I think we filmmakers have the responsibility na always make sure that everybody in your team is safe. If you're going to film, everybody in your production is safe. So and also totoo yung sinasabi ni Glen na if you're a filmmaker who's thinking na okay, hindi pa safe para lumabas, hindi magiging safe tong pelikula ko para i-shoot ng ganito, it will lead to being experimental to tell in order to tell more stories. Plus kasabay kasi rin na mukha nga matagal pa na makakapag back to normal talaga ang cinema, and at the same time even yung mga technologies dinedevelop para i-enhance yung mga home viewing. So I guess sasabay din yung yung thought process, yung way ng paglikha at pag-iisip ng paglikha ng mga filmmakers.
Yeah, I think that's a good point that all of you guys raised, no, particularly on yung aspect of innovation. We're always saying that cinema is evolving, like cinema is incomplete, cinema is unfinished ba. So parang every like a period in time there comes a happening siguro that will make cinema evolve or innovate. And yun nga, aside from technology and di ba nga sa atin daw sa Mindanao Film Fest, pati yung filmathon, ginawa natin siyang screen live edition, no? So yeah, we don't expect naman that every film that would come out will be like that, pero yeah, I think it's one of those innovation or one of those evolution that we're expecting or experiencing even right now. So yeah.
For me, Jay, yung business model, ano kayo yung business model ng industry, no, ng film? Paano sila kikita? Saan yung revenues without yung sinihan? Because as a festival director of Mindanao Film Fest for 8 years, I've been dealing with kasi meron kami sinihan na base every year yung kay Sano Mall, and the owner, the manager would brief me, would tell me about yung ano yung business ng theater, yung paano sila kikita. So medyo I'm medyo may alam ako konti sa yung business side, business operation ng sinihan. And yun nga, yung what is the business model nga? How will kung ang tao hindi na pwede, hindi na masyado they're already geared towards no, yung home entertainment, home screening, paano na yung sinihan? Because ang laki ng kuan yan, yung expenses to maintain, and it's also a malaking lugar yan, no? In a prime retail, in a prime real estate area like a mall. How would it earn? Ano yun? I hope, no? I think yun pa rin, for me, like the three filmmakers said, the best way pa rin na ma-experience mo yung movies is a cinema, a movie house experience. I hope after pandemic, bumalik na yung
yeah. I think eventually it will sort itself out kasi nga like mga malls they're doing drive-ins na ngayon, 'di ba? And I don't know, baka like for example dito sa atin sa Davao, because we don't have micro cinemas yet, I think baka may I'm looking at that kind of parang development ba na also beneficial for independent makers kasi in Manila you already have these micro cinemas and they are alternative venues for independent films, no? So yun, maybe we can expect those kinds of developments.
And also, Jay, with this, diba yung with the online film festivals, hindi lang kasi Mindanao Film Festival, marami yung like Gilgig and Binisaya, yung mga films already accessible na sa mga tao, and yung para siyang film education, yung gina-pursue niya sa pasalidahay na awareness na, uy, may ganito palang films. And like yung kanina, recently mga friends ko nag-message sa akin yung Markado na film ni Joe Bacos, they wanted to see it again, no? And in fact, si Joe, they already nag-schedule sila ng isa pang screening. So, with yung reception ng mga tao sa nakita nila na ganito mga may palabas na ginagawa ng mga Filipino filmmakers, filmmakers from the regions, parang naging aware sila na yung sa quality. And yung the divergence of stories. Yun.
So yun. Do we have another question pa?
Wala, mga fans to ni Ivan. Idol kita, Ivan. Grabe yung input ninyo, Direct Ivan.
Tanungin ko sana si Ivan about yung reflection ni Glen, but fresh graduate pa yata siya, so baka hindi pa applicable yung philosophical.
Actually, hindi pa nga po kami nagde-defense. Sinabutan yung school namin ng pandemic.
So, hindi ka pa.
Yeah, iniikot ko pala siya sa festivals ngayon, pero hindi pa siya nade-defend. So, baka next year.
That's good, no? That you're able to do that na parang wala namang parang policy or rule sa school na
Yeah,
you have.
wala naman.
Oh.
After, hindi naman.
Sige. Do you have questions pa ba daw from the audience?
Wala na ata. Walang Okay, so yun. We would like to thank our guests, Ivan Cortez, Ivan Cortez of Kahon, John Glen Sarol of Nagapwam, Diin, Gikan, and Mina Cruz of Redirected Hopes. Thank you for sharing your evening with us. It was a wonderful topic with ating Kaida J, no? So before
any
promote
final,
natin.
promote your film siguro or any final message. Sige, Ivan, then Glen, then Mina.
Ayun, message ko lang naman is nood kayo sa Mindanao Film Fest and support local films.
Dan?
Same din po. Again, try to watch all the films sa Mindanao Film Festival and support regional filmmakers. And these are hard working and inspired, aspiring filmmakers. These are the future filmmakers of the Philippines, ng bansa. And yeah, it's always good. Sabi nga ni Direk Kit Dilegero sa Binisaya, mas masarap daw po yung mga gawa po ba, mga home cooked, parang home cooked meals, mga short film po ito. Yes.
Sige, Mina.
Maraming salamat sa MFF. Thank you, Sir Jay. Thank you, Sir Rudolph. Para sa mga baguhan na filmmakers, yung like let's say you have done 1 to 2 short films, ito yung very sensitive na period because you're learning everything at sa Philippine setup. Usually bilang baguhang director, you're also producing your own work, you're distributing your own work. So karamihan ng mga beginning filmmakers ay nasa stage na very deciding ito if tutuloy ka ba or is it just a waste of energy or waste of effort. So very thankful ako for MFF and sa mga programmers po na katulad ninyo for giving a chance to new filmmakers kasi sobrang yung ganitong platform, yung ganitong screening their films will be a very very great encouragement para sa kanila na magpatuloy.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
I would like to add to that kasi sabi po ni Ma'am Mina. Yes, that's very true. It's really, most especially sa mga aspiring filmmakers, because there are times pag nag-shoot po kayo where there are moments wherein you just feel like, itutuloy ko ba talaga to? Because like even the actors would sometimes, alam mo yan, yung parang hindi mo sila mabibigyan ng certification na masasabing this will be out, this will be seen by the public, because you're always dangling in that moment wherein you're thinking pag nagsasubmit ka ng film na this might not be seen by anyone, hindi to ma-showcase sa kahit kanino. So really making a film, mas lalo na sa mga yun nga po, yung mga aspiring, mga nagsisimula pa lang na filmmakers, having this venue, this platform is really truly just one of the kumbaga one of the best ways to showcase yung mga talents po coming from the regions. So yes po. Thank you very much po. Thank you very much for the platform.
Thank you po. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you
Okay,
also for making the films. You're making your films.
Thank you. Okay, we'd like to thank our partners, Film Development Council of the Philippines, Japan Foundation, VIDC, Globe Telecom, Touch Mobile, Southspot, and the Alchemy of Vision and Light Productions.
Yep.
Yun.
And yun, before I forget those, we only had Ivan, then and Mina for this talkback no, but actually kasali sa program nila, which who were not able to join us today in the talkback is yung other two films ni Joy Villablanca, which is Maupay nga Aga, Puniti Kita. It's a film from Tacloban. And then another film by
Cagayan Valley.
Dagami Daitoy, This is Our Land by Noni Abaw. No? So these are all very diverse films, and I hope you get to check them. And yeah, I think it's a welcome development for us also sa Mindanao Film Festivals that, you know, we welcome these submissions from other places so that yung mga Mindanao filmmakers then would get to see these films, no, and get to see and know the diversity of cinematic expressions in the Philippines. So yun, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the evening, and stay safe where you are. Thank you to our audience as well for joining us and watching this talk back. Thank you and good night.
Thank you po.
Night.
Thank you. Thank you po. Good night.